Some privileges can be seen as normal, at times it can go unrecognized. What is something most people don't realize is a privilege? Privacy. I don't mean digital privacy, I mean a room with solid walls and a door that closes. Lots of people don't have that. The apartments I work at are filled with people subleasing. I've walked apartments where the bedrooms have 6 people sleeping there. If they're lucky, they get to sleep in a closet or at least have a curtain covering. Having 2 good parents. Hell, having 1. Yep, I can attest to this. I have 1 shitty parent and 1 great parent. I'd probably be on the street somewhere if I had no guidance from my 1 good parent. Uninterrupted power supply. Hard agree. Whenever there is a major thunderstorm in my area, I always think, please don't let the power go out. Losing power anytime sucks, but especially now when it's 90+ degrees Fahrenheit or 32+ degrees Celsius and 80% humidity. To have people around who can and will help. Feeling safe in your own home, not worrying about rats, mice, roaches, bed bugs, bricks being thrown through windows, violence outside, break-ins. The ability to buy a drink or snack outside on the spur of the moment, without thinking about how it would impact your ability to pay for utilities, rent, groceries, essentials. Being able to just quit a job you don't like. Spontaneity in your daily plans. If you're a wheelchair user, that's virtually impossible. So few places have accessible restrooms, some public transport needs contact 24 hours in advance in order to accommodate you, the list goes on. I envy people who can just go with the flow. Having people assume you are telling the truth. Holy shit, yeah, trust is worth so much. Also having people give a damn about what you say. Education. Which is shocking given that education in the US is often seen as worse than a full-time job. Your busiest and most miserable times are high school and college. Definitely agree. I've traveled to third world countries and some kids would do anything to get an opportunity to gain an education and improve their lives because usually that's the only way compared to here where there are other opportunities. Having access to water and a sewage system. Also the abundance of food in Western supermarkets is quite frankly insane. Every day I try and spend a moment to reflect on how lucky I am. Came here to say the same. Clean drinking water. From the tap. In the house. A lot of places in the world, even when they have running water in the house, it isn't safe to drink without treating it first. Having a vehicle. Driving in general basically. Sanitary products for women. It's different in different parts of the world plus economic backgrounds. Not to mention access to birth control. Literally life-changing and so important. Easy access to food. So many people go hungry for a variety of reasons, from the food just isn't there to drought to lack of money. If there was an embargo and food could not get to the stores, there would be a huge freakout. For those who deal with it all the time, not a big deal. I sometimes wish that everyone in the world could briefly experience lack of food. Just that feeling of laying in bed and vividly imagining every scrap of food you've ever thrown away in your life, and so desperately wishing you could have that right now. Just for a moment. Not to torture people or anything, just to make them understand. Just once is all I think it would take to instill a lot of compassion and stop a lot of food waste. Criticizing your own government. More and more countries are banning protests. Hell, just last week, an Australian journalist was locked up by a politician's counter-terrorism goon squad. The ability to actually be a kid when young. It's heartbreaking how many children have to grow up hardened before they even hit puberty. I'm in this picture and I don't like it. Having a primary care physician you can see regularly without breaking the bank or risking your job. On that line of thought, universal healthcare is a privilege. I hate to imagine how hard it must be to not even be able to call an ambulance because of the cost. It's scary. Even with Medicare, I got saddled with over $1,000 in debt for an overnight in the hospital. Being able to get up every day without pain.